up, y'all? It's your girl Kimray, and I'm back with another video. This is your review for Insecure Season 2, episode number 4, Hella LA. So we was all tuned in on Black Twitter. Everybody was excited about this week's episode, right? So let's get into this review. So Kelly and Molly are at Molly's house, and they are pre-gaming, getting ready for this kiss and grind thing, you know, this little day party thing that they all going to. And Issa shows up, and Issa, this is a different Issa than we have seen. Issa is hella like live and loud and ready, just got her game face on, out here scheming, searching for dudes, and I'm like, who is this Issa? So Issa comes in, she is talking about this new guy that she's met on Tinder or whatever little app she met him on, and his name is Felix, and Kelly is making fun of him like, Felix the cat? That's what you're talking about? And Issa is supposed to be meeting Felix at the day party, so we're gonna see how that unfolds later on. Molly's trying on different outfits, and they finally get ready to go. Molly taking all day. Kelly done dunked her wine out, but they finally get ready to go, and they headed to the day party. So we see Lawrence, he getting out the shower, he got his little sponge brush, getting the curls right, getting dressed, getting ready to go, talking to Chad on the phone, and even Lawrence is different. He got the full fuckboy-esque going on. I mean, he is not reserved or passive at all. He's like, yeah, nigga, let's do it. And it's like, what is going on with Lawrence and Issa? They are obviously trying to get out the relationship side and fully tap into the single side and the, you know, the hoe phase and the fuckboy phase, but it's just like, it's a little much. So Issa, Molly, and Kelly, they roll up to the party, they get in there, they find their table, and Issa she pointing out, dude, she's like, I might leave with the bodyguard, I might leave with the bouncer. Like, every dude that she sees, she pointing them out, she extra thirsty, she extra ready. And her whole mission was to get some. That's her whole mission. If it ain't from Felix, it's gonna be from the bouncer, it's gonna be from the bartender, it's gonna be from old dude down there who already got a girl. She said, I'm gonna get some, it's inevitable. How about when Kelly was like, let's take a selfie, and she's like, oh, His name is Dro. We saw him in last week's episode with his girlfriend in the cupcake shop. You know, he had asked Molly if she was coming to the kiss and grind, and he's there, and he comes over to their booth, and he's like, hey, how y'all doing? So he got chicken wings at his booth, so Molly's like, that's her cue, she's out. Kelly already on the prowl, she done snatched Issa's drink, and she done walked off. And Issa, to me, up until this point, Issa just seems hella thirsty and hella game, like so much that it's not real. Like, anytime your girl is like that eager to get some or find somebody when you walk in the club, you might want to watch them, because they're gonna leave with just anybody. So while everybody is, you know, perusing and doing their thing, Issa spots Daniel across the room. And if y'all remember, Daniel is the one that she cheated on Lawrence with. He was an ex from back in the day that she reignited the flame on. So she sees him, but he don't see her, and of course she's freaking out. We flash over to Lawrence, and Lawrence is stuck in traffic trying to get where he's trying to get because of some construction. Oh, there's two cars in front of him who make an illegal U-turn, and you know, he follows suit. Anytime you see people doing that, it ain't no cops around, you just figure like, I'll do it too, I'll follow the crowd. Well, he gets pulled over by the police, and any black person watching, I'm not even gonna say any black person, because anyone who is aware and woke of the current state of America, your heart dropped. My heart immediately dropped, and I was like, Issa, please don't take this here. We are having a good time, enjoying the show, enjoying the little different social issues going on. I can't do it. I need something that's not so heavy to watch. So anyway, you know, Lawrence is going through all the little, you know, steps. Both hands on the steering wheel, but before he do that, he changed the music to that classical, because he's like, I'm not trying to be stereotyped as some reckless thug, so let me change. And ain't that sad? The police officer approaches the car. Are you in a rush? Is this your car? Where are you going? He finally asks him for his license and registration. He's fumbling with his wallet, drops his debit card, probably in between the seat, gives it to the cop. Now the cop ends up letting him off on a warning. Even when he went back to his car, his partner was watching Lawrence, and Lawrence tried to move his hands, probably to readjust and put his wallet back in his pocket, but that cop wasn't having it. He's like, put your hands on the steering wheel where I could see. Well, the cop comes back. He ends up letting him off with a warning as he saw his license plate and, you know, some kind of sports team or mascot that he recognized. And then he mentioned that, you know, they had beat them the night before and all was good. But I mean, to me, what I learned from that scene was, even if nothing happens, you are so terrified because of all the stories that have happened. You just try to stay calm. You try not to do nothing sudden. You try not to even breathe wrong. You can't even play the wrong music. Like, you just try to keep it calm. Lawrence gets off with a warning because of the schooling that he had, because it was on his license plate, and you know, they let him off and he drives off. So Issa finds Molly in the club and she's freaking out, telling her that she saw Daniel. We here to have a good time. We here to let inhibitions, you know, let it all go. So if you see somebody that you used to mess with, don't let them mess up your night. And that's the thing, like, Issa can see one person or one action or one thing, and it just like, it messes with her the rest of the night. And she has to go say something, or she has to, like, to me, I can see you across the room and totally ignore you the whole night, because that's just me. That's what I can do. Issa ends up going to speak to Daniel. It was hella awkward, super awkward situation. She pulls him over away from his friend. Do you always come to these type of parties? You know, trying to make small talk so it don't seem like I only came over here because I'm still thinking about you, I'm still mad at you, but I still love you type of thing. And she was like, do you always come to these kind of parties? And he said, no, I came for the DJ. Oh yeah, he's dope. Oh no, well, it's a girl. I think I merged with her. The whole conversation was awkward. Now, ladies, when you see an ex-boyfriend, please don't act how Issa did. I mean, in her situation, it's a whole lot worse because she said some pretty messed up things to him. If y'all remember, she said that he was a scratch that she just needed to itch. So that to me, that's grounds to just not even be speaking. Because if you are speaking, you are clearly showing how lonely you are. Like, you did the deed, you did what you did, you lost both of them. And so now it's just time to move on and find, like, play in a new fresh field of flowers, okay? This is the part that made me upset because Molly is sitting with Dro, and because they're old friends, they're discussing, you know, growing up together, dancing together, just old school memories and how his hair used to be, how goofy he used to be, and he grew into his looks, and how, you know, their marriage is so perfect, him and Candace. He's like picking out each guy, like, what about him? What about him? What about him? And Molly has something to say about each one. You know, they're not to her standard, but she is learning to take things at face value and take things and accept things as they are. And that's a good way to be. I'm gonna say that's a good way to be because, like I said last week, you have your list and you have the things that you aspire for your man or your mate to be like, and when you meet someone, you don't even notice that they're good because you're passing up on them because they don't check off all your blocks. And while it's good to have a standard, it's not good to have an impossible list. Like I said last week, remember to humble yourself, remember what you bring into the table, and remember that people make mistakes and people have lives that are not like yours. You could just tell, oh, I'm tweeting and I'm getting mad and I'm going off on my Twitter like, she is getting too close to old dude, she needs to back it up, because if that was my man, Lawrence is at the register. I think he was in Ralph's. He's buying some liquor. Two girls behind him in a grocery line. It's a blonde Asian chick and a white girl. Well, he can't find his debit card. And he's like, you know, can you just hold it and I'll go back home or whatever? And they offered to pay for it. Now, to me, $4, I'll help you out. $10, I even help you out. It get any higher than that, I can't do it. But $46.92, these two bras offer to pay for his liquor, and he's just kind of looking like, oh. Well, first he was like a gentleman, you ain't gotta do that. But then when they did it, I'm already knowing, like, they want something from you, boo. $46 is not cheap. They pay for his liquor, he walks out. They walk up to him like, where you going with all that liquor? And this is when I knew. It's about to be some mess. Doesn't he look like Craig? And I literally yelled at the screen, Craig from Friday? Girl, all black men don't look alike. But I realized later on that it was just a dude that they probably had messed with before. So Lawrence didn't even see the game that was running on him because he just so excited to be playing in some new boxes that ain't Issa's, you know, that ain't been the same one that he's had the past 5 years. And, you know, Tasha that ended up being a bust. We didn't even see her this episode, so we don't know what's going on with that. But he's probably acting exactly how fuckboys act. You know, that mess blows up. You say that you're not ready for the commitment, and then you just don't hit her up no more, or you avoid places where she's at. You switch to online banking instead of going into the teller, and then you switch to going through the drive up ATM instead of going, you know how, you know. And they end up inviting him back to their place, and we'll talk about it. Issa in the courtyard waiting on Felix. She texts him, I'm in the courtyard. Now Felix is mad. Felix is pressed. Felix wants things a type of way, and he don't understand how you natural now, and before you had waist length Senegalese twist. I'm confused. And Felix rolled up on her like, do you always look like this? They exchanged an awkward ass hug. He said, do you always look like this? Your hair was different. And she said, yeah, I like to change my hair a lot. Well, can you change it back? Oh, is he serious? Then he gonna ask her, is her voice always like? I said, oh yeah, I'm not the one. You not about to, because you ain't all that hot. Felix wasn't that hot to me. So to be coming at me crazy like that, you really got the wrong one. They don't end up hitting it off. I'm gonna catch you later like, All while Issa is standing there dealing with that, Daniel catches her eye from across the room and starts laughing, and then she awkwardly walks off. Now, I just want to know why Daniel keep popping up. So Dro and Molly head to the dance floor, and they are, first it's real corny. They exchanging little, you know, moves from back in the day, and they loud, and he is heavy with his lines, like they just flowing out his mouth. And I started to think, was this all like improv, his part? Because nothing seemed, it wasn't no room for no pauses, and his cuidado mami, like all of that. I was like, okay, well, you better act. You had better. So they dancing, and sure enough, all in the middle of their battle, you know, she give him a little twerk, and that's when I said, yep, you're taking it too far, because we could dance like this all day, because we friends. Let's do it, let's get it, back and forth, two-step, bang, can't bounce, whatever it is you want to do. But as soon as I turn that thing around, back it up, shake it, drop it, stop it, that's too much for a married man. So I'm gonna just charge it to the fact that he is welcoming it. He ain't setting up no boundaries. He just letting it flow, doing whatever. So that's why Molly could let her guard down, you know, somebody that she knew, so she could be however she wanted to be. And then Juvenile came on, and y'all know that's the grinding, winding type of song right there. I don't really do that no more, but I used to get down to that song. You know, Molly stopped. She's like, wait, this is a little too much. You know, you're taking it too far. You're married to Candace. Candace will be my ass, and I don't really do that no more, because you know I practice law, so I can't be caught up in mess like this no more. And Dro lets us know that Candace and himself are in an open marriage, and that as long as they talk about things, then they're good, and it's not cheating, and you're not out here being a hoe, because you come back home and you tell it all. And you know what? The first thing I thought was, don't no black people do this. Now, we done heard rumors of Jada and Will doing it, and I just refuse to believe. Now, they could be. They very well could be. And I know Monique, and actually, see, I take it back. Monique, the comedian, and her husband, they do that. They all about that open relationship. And to me, an open relationship is just a cop-out, because you think that you can't stay faithful enough to one person, so that you don't break their heart. You just kind of let them know, like, look, we're not gonna call it cheating as long as we stay open and we trust each other, and as long as if we have those urges, we discuss them. But who wants to be married to someone who wants someone else from time to time? Like, so Molly is taken back, because she's like, you know, y'all got married in the church, so y'all are pretty much traditional. And Dro is explaining to her, like, we really not all that traditional. It's just, this is just what works for us. Now, it might not work for you, it might not work for other people, or it may, but for us, this is what we have figured out that works. And I mean, at that point, you can't do nothing but respect it, but then it still has me curious, because I'm like, how is it working for you? Because y'all are young. Y'all not in y'all 40s, 50s, and then decided to move on over to this. They probably newlyweds, probably about 2 years, 3 years. I'm gonna say max 5 or 6. You ain't been married that long, so you've already decided that an open marriage is what's better for you guys in your relationship, because it's a lot of pressure to stay faithful to one person and be everything to one person. But isn't that what you promised? And the pressure makes diamonds, and the pressure is on both sides. So if you feel pressured, or if you feel like you are unable to commit or perform, then you sit down and talk to someone. Or I'm not ever gonna agree with it. Don't try to sell it to me in the comment. I don't. So next. So Lawrence is at the girl's house, okay, the girl's apartment. You got the Asian girl over there rolling up the blunt. You got the white girl over here turning on Weekend and pouring wine and grinding and slow dancing all off beat. And Lawrence is sitting there looking ready and willing, eager, smiling from ear to ear, texting Chad like, I think this girl is feeling me. Little do he know, it's a threesome about to go down. It's like kissing on him, and then the Asian girl come up, and then they both kiss, and they all kiss, and they done moved it to the room. And you know, it starts to fully go down. An inch into it. But the whole time I'm thinking, like, how did you meet a random guy in the grocery store and just take him home as if he ain't got nothing? And then how did you be the random guy in the grocery store and just go home with 2 girls? Like, I mean, I guess. Molly comes back up to the booth, and she's telling them, recapping them on Dro, and saying like, he just tried to get at her. He tried to take her home, smash that box, do, knock it out. And Issa's like, what? Dro? Are we talking about the same Dro? And they're like, yes. Him and Candace are into the open marriage thing, and I don't know how I feel about that. But she's basically telling Molly, like, if everybody's honest, then what's the problem? Well, the problem is, Molly feels like, is anybody in a pure relationship anymore? Anybody out here married? Is anybody doing it for the right thing? Ain't no issues. If there are issues, we talk about it, we communicate through it. Ain't nobody got no hidden secrets, no hidden children, no hidden wife somewhere. Like, where are the straight and narrow couples? And this is the same argument that I have. I feel like I want to be married. Ideally, I would love to get married. I've been in a relationship long enough to get married, but it just seems like marriage is no longer the thing. Like, people are having kids first. Look at Sin and Joe Budden. They having kids first. It's hella celebrities who come out and they're expecting a child, but ain't nobody said nothing about marriage. Ain't nobody got engaged. Or you get those people who nobody gets proposed to no more. They're like laying up in bed one night, like, let's get married. They go out and get married. It's not the same as how it used to be. So I'm asking the same question as Molly. Like, the values that your parents had, your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents, is staying with each other through everything, through thick and thin, through all kind of issues, through finances, through kids, and even getting cheated on and staying together, which I don't even know. But through all that adversity, our ancestors are staying together, and marriage is sacred, and marriage is like the standard. Marriage is necessary. Marriage is required. Now it just ain't. Marriage is that one person you make them vows to, and you say these vows in front of God, in a church, in front of witnesses, in front of a family, in front of your family, in front of her family or his family. And when you decide to renege on all that and invite a third party into it just because you had the conversation with your wife, is that really what marriage is? Like, I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think, because I ain't doing it. We flash over back to Lawrence, who can't finish up with the Asian girl, could only finish with the white girl. He could not go for round 2, and child, they was mad. They said, you ain't nothing like LaMarcus. Child, they done fired up the coke, then went back to gossiping. And Lawrence was sitting there, thought he was special, thought he was, God's gift to earth. Like, I done met these 2 girls, 2 angelic type of girls in the grocery store, and today is my lucky day. No, Lawrence, you was just a check off the list. We got another black one. And we got you for what you got you for what we got you for, and you weren't even what we expected. So you got to go. I mean, they were sitting there demasculating him while he laying there. And that's what you get, Lawrence. Molly sees Dro and she's like, I'm gonna see you later. That Molly is confused because she knows that she's feeling Dro, but she knows that it's wrong because he's married. And usually that would be the end. You tell yourself it's wrong. You tell yourself don't do it. It's not worth it. But then when he comes back and says that they're in an open marriage, well, now I'm confused because am I really breaking the rules if it's an open marriage and she knows and he knows and everybody's in the know? Like, I'm confused on how I should feel about this. I'm gonna tell you how you should feel. It's a no. Because even if he was a stranger off the street, we all know what Molly wants. Molly wants a guy. Molly wants a guy she can call her own. Molly wants a guy she can be herself with. She don't have to pay extra money for. She don't have to have him depending on her. She don't have to explain why she is the type of way. She don't want to feel crazy. She don't want him to be too annoying. All these things, and here he is, but he's taken. So don't do it, because what you'll want is him as a primary, and he can't be your primary because he's already primarily taken. Kelly done got with some new boo on the dance floor. Remember when she was doing the jacked up Running Man, and he has invited her and her friends to go out with his friends to some after spot. I like to go to Waffle House. They would look like they was at a burger joint. They ain't got no Waffle House in California, and I used to get pissed all the time. And of course Daniel's there when Issa sits down, so they just kind of sitting down ordering their food, chilling, and Issa notices him across the room, and she's already like, this is about to be even more awkward because why are you everywhere I go? And the problem is we internalize that as a sign. Like, maybe that means that we are meant to be together and we should try to talk it out and try to get back cool because you keep popping up everywhere I go. Wrong. Lawrence is in the car talking to Chad, and Chad is in the bathroom washing his hands, and the bathroom attendant and some older black man sitting there, poor older black man, having to listen to all the vulgarities and inappropriateness of Chad's phone call. I mean, I'm not even gonna repeat what he was saying, but he was very detail oriented about Lawrence's night. Anybody else would have been excited about what he just did. I mean, obviously he wasn't able to finish, but if he wasn't such an internalizer, he probably wouldn't have been how he was. I mean, just like Chad calls him the John Legend, Brian McKnight type of dude, you can tell that what he just did it just didn't satisfy him. And we noticed that when he gets off the phone because he's in Issa's apartment complex in the parking lot, ends up starting the car and leaving. But basically recap Chad on everything that happened, and it doesn't seem satisfying to Lawrence as it was to Chad. Everyone's eating dinner, sitting, chilling, small talk. Some guy's talking to Molly. Issa's exchanging weird, awkward looks with Daniel, playing with her food and stuff. And Kelly and her new boo, they talking normal at first. Now, I didn't know what happened because they was talking normal, everything seemed cool, and then next thing you know, Kelly just stops mid-sentence and she was just, what's wrong with her? And I couldn't figure out because I thought something was happening, like maybe his breath stunk, or she saw like Lawrence walk in, or she saw a rat. Like, I didn't know what was happening. So Daniel texts Issa and he's like, yo, your girl is getting, she's getting a hand job up under the table. And Issa couldn't do nothing but laugh. Ended up picking up her food and moving over to sit with Daniel. And I was just looking at her like, I just wanted to just go back over there and sit next to Molly. What are you doing? Even Molly didn't even stop her because Molly was texting Dro. Kind of, she was on the fence too. Like, I want to go chill with him because I had such a good time hanging with him, seeing all these dudes in the club, but only hung out with Dro the whole night. So she wanted to go hang out with him, but a part of her is like, no, it's still wrong. Because to me, I would be the same way. I don't care what you say because, see, these men, they be slick with the stories. So he could have been lying about an marriage. But the thing is, you know, they've known each other so long, so she would like to believe him. But I would have to double check that with Candace. And then on top of that, because I've known you for so long, I can't dibble and dabble. See, I keep bringing it up because it's irritating me. Because I feel like these open marriages, they just are sticky. And then they invite diseases and, you know, people getting pregnant. And, like, it's just too much. Like, why not be monogamous? Like, why do you have to have... Anyway, Kelly getting a hand job from under the table. And I said, Kelly, you don't waste no time. The girl knows what she wants. I want a shirt from the, I think it was the second episode when she said, come here, let me burp you. I want a shirt that says that. Somebody make this shirt. I want to know what y'all thought about this week's episode. I want to know your predictions for next week's episode because it just cut off right in the middle of Kelly getting her hand job. Molly sending Dro a message like, look, I gotta be to work early. I've been traveling a lot, but still looking like I want to do this. And Issa over there talking to Daniel, looking all chummy, then picked up her whole plate and moved across the restaurant. Issa, please don't make me mad. Again, I am Kemaray. This is Kemaray Music TV. If you guys have not heard, I started a podcast called Just Trying to Figure It Out. It is on SoundCloud right now. It's also on the video before this where I kind of did some editing and added it to a video so that you can listen to it. The first topic that I discussed was black hair. All the intricacies, difficulties, and frustrations about black hair. So make sure you guys check that out. I'll put the link in the description box. Again, this was your review for Insecure Season 2, episode number 4, Hella LA. Let me know how you guys felt about this episode down below. Subscribe to my channel, share my video, like my video, and make sure you click on the little bell next to where you subscribe so that you know whenever I post a video. I'll see you guys in the next video.